Hello， 大家好，欢迎大家回来福尔摩斯。我们今天继续调查绳子吧。
The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope. The fibers from this cut appear to be different. The fibers from this cut appear to be different.
那是刀子吧？其实，感觉刀子是比较利的。
If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Oh. 然后怎么寻找？跟他们聊天吗？上次那一集其实也没有特别长了，但是36分钟大概平常可以做2集啦，因为一集我大概20分钟而已。我没差啦，就算了，因为上次算是玩的比较入迷吧，他不用跑来跑去，就会有点忘记时间。
Holmes, don't look at me like that.
Oh, what a horrible...
Please leave my Mary.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have...
哎，错了耶！寻找水手，那我要在哪里寻找？1893，靠！原来我要回去。啊，错了。他继续在家里的说。爆炸吗？1893，怎么都是1893呢？我记得上一个也是1893吧？对啊，这个特殊乘客，哦，是他吗
Here it is.
Oh.
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
我觉得这一次算比较简单一点点吧，好像比较快。这次的任务，因为那么快就已经那个 mind map 已经那么大了，以前哪有那么快
？At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893, and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
3小时后
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
好，我们看看这边的话就是寻找嘛，然后 这边吗？名单。
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
November the 7th.每个看好了，11月7号抵达。这个吧，巴斯罗克号有，这个没有，这个没有，这个没有，对，就只有这个了。好，然后水手佛桥街，这个
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days. This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone.
没有了吧？就不是只有这样而已吗？
I do not think that this sailor has any connection to the case.
还是因为这边都不在啊，不是吗？10月、3月才到，19，这个快到，这个吗？
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be.
该不会我要每个看，每个划掉吧？
This officer was on a ship that's.
哇，我还想说，就很随便就好了耶。
Mr. Jack Crocker.
托马斯威廉。
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. I do not think. This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
威廉。
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be. This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime. Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
好了，去找他吧。
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
为什么一直都是水手啊？
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
太快了吧！
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
先帮你做个侧写。这里，身体健硕。这里，报纸墨迹。这里没有。干净的靴子，这是脏脏的衣服啊。有了。
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her from when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right, if there was no evidence.
What then?
是你绑了他。
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
水手节。
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night.
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
"就只有你啊，水手。我已经找齐了吗？那是我还蛮好奇的。我觉得是这个吧，先试试看好了。
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. and it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
哇靠！怎么突然有这种东西？他还自杀了。
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I
收
wish
起你的
only
悔
to
恨，
test your
船长。
sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night.
哎，他没有问我那
Inspector,
个。
I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
哎呦喂！要吗？这样我的道德会不会下降啊？正义的化身还是一样啊，没有差别。人们的心声获得奖杯。那我们今天就是看完这个片头，下一个案件的片头我们就结束好了。应该还剩2个案件呢。
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, how ever did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
那华生也变幽默了，好了，我们下次再见，拜拜。